Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Earthlings. It's another broadcast from me, fellow Earthling. I was actually trying to get to sleep, and there's an event going on in our marina tonight, and actually all day today, and last night, and all day the day before, with like an Edward Scissormouth compere on his speaker. He's gone quiet now, but you'll hear him in a minute. He'll start going, "Uno, dos, tres," and fucking screaming his head off. And I just couldn't sleep. Oh, he's being really quiet now. He'll get excited in a minute. And I couldn't sleep. I've been trying to sleep for about an hour now. An hour. And this, I fully support, don't get me wrong, I fully support anything that promotes this lovely marina and the lovely people here, but I just want this guy to shut the F up. I won't actually spell out the word that rhymes with dark and begins with F, because apparently some of the Meghan Markle sugars faint if they hear the F-bomb, or God forbid the C-bomb, which I don't think I've ever actually dropped. But I really want this guy to be quiet. I want him to stop it now. Right now, it's 10 past midnight, and I've been trying to get to sleep for over an hour. And he just won't stop. He won't stop. He's relentless. Thank God Graham has been asleep for hours. He's oblivious to the whole thing. Thank God he's really resting. And quite forgive me, I'm smoking. I actually want to get some sort of I don't know, I probably shouldn't say on YouTube, but I want to go over there and tell that gentleman, can you just please pack it in? We pay a fortune to keep our boats here, and I do understand that the marina needs to promote itself, but really? And what he's doing with his Uno Dos Tres and all that, and all full of excitement, is they're bouncing balls in the air or something. You know, there's a gathering of people or hopping on their left leg or something like that and going, oh, we're having a great time. So, as I couldn't sleep, I thought I would take this opportunity to talk to you guys about the Dolphin Safari. So this is all about Dolphin Safari, this particular video. Can you hear him? I don't know if my microphone can pick it up, but my bloody ears can. He's been relentless, this guy. Absolutely relentless. I want to get some gaffer tape and just tape it round his mouth. Anyway. This is one of these very unprofessional and random videos. Thought I'd take you inside my boat and show you what I've been up to today. Yes, we've got a little bit of soundproofing from him, but not that much. Oops. Not that much, trust me. His voice carries all the way to Algeciras. Don't start, cat. No, you're not having a brush, and you're not having any more treats, because I gave you treats and you threw up on my steps. Yeah, you threw up on my steps. That is gratitude for you. So today, what I've been doing, oh yeah, Uno Dos Tres, don't forget that one. So what I've been doing today is covering the seats in my galley. Here, no cat, no, you're not getting any more treats. So look, I don't know if you can see that. I've been covered all the cushions. And it took a lot longer than I thought it would. So, yeah, I thought, seeing as I can't sleep, or I'm not allowed to, might as well have a chat with you lovely guys, which is my favourite thing. Let's get my cushions. Oh, I bought a little lamp as well. Yeah, so Dolphin Safari. thought I was just, because I can't sleep, and I've been thinking about all the 13 years that I've been at Dolphin Safari and how the story started. How did we end up working at Dolphin Safari? Well, we bought this boat, as a lot of you know, in 2007. We didn't move down till 2010. And I got a job at the bowling centre, and eventually Graham got a job at the Dolphin Safari, which was literally in the same marina. They had a sign up in the window, staff wanted. Staff wanted. That's haunted me all my life, the Dolphin Safari staff wanted sign. I've worked with many, many unusual characters at Dolphin Safari. Yeah. I could tell a whole story about that. And I was sort of heated. It was heated. It was in the moment. And I said, go get a job, go get a job. And he came back and he said, I've been offered a job at the Dolphin Safari. But he said, I've got to get, the deal is, I've got to get these qualifications. They're called STCW 95s. Now, STCW is the acronym for, do you know, I'm not quite sure. Standard training in commercial watchkeeping. STCW, yeah, standard training in commercial watchkeeping. It's one of these international conventions, you know, like the World Order or whatever. You know, you get these great big organisations. They have some big convention somewhere, and they pass a load of rules that are really inappropriate for most people's situations. And that's what every seafarer has to have, the basics. You have to have first aid, fire, social responsibility, and sea survival. And Graham said, well, the deal is I've got to get them. But they didn't have the equipment to do the fire back in those days. So he said it's just the sea survival, which is like jump in a swimming pool in a wetsuit. I think some of you guys saw the sea survival that we had to renew. Because you've got to renew them. You have to renew them. You have to pay a fortune to keep renewing tickets to be allowed to have a job. And first aid and the social responsibility is, are you going to get on with your compatriots at sea, or are you going to kill each other and eat each other alive? It's that sort of thing. And he said to me at the time, it's going to cost 450 pounds. Shall I do it? And I said, well, do you think the guy's on the level? And the guy was Tim, who owned a Dolphin Safari, and Graham did the STCWs, and while he was waiting to qualify, he did ticket sales on the quayside, which is really, really hardcore. I cannot emphasise it enough, actually. Of all... Oh, uno, dos, tres! I don't know if you guys can hear this guy, but I mean, he just won't shut up. He just won't stop. And he's the kind of, I mean, God, on the Dolphin Safari boat, we have a speaker system, and I talk to the passengers like I talk to you guys. I don't go, hello, how are you doing? Uno, dos, tres. I mean, I really, really want to go and take some gaffer tape to this man's mouth. It can't be that exciting, dude. These people are just bouncing a ball. Just stop it. It's like 20 past midnight now. Just stop it. Anyway, as I was saying, so yeah, he got the job. It was as simple as that, really. And I was eternally grateful to Tim and Conchi for giving Graham the opportunity of a job, especially at something as wonderful as the Dolphin Safari. And we've had a marvellous 13 years there, and long may it continue. We still work there. And I just thought I really can't hear myself think with this guy. I mean, he's just... My God, he's like half a mile away. Half a mile away. Talk about Edward Scissormouth. What kind of speakers do these people have? Anyway, yeah, I was quite pissed the other day because it was quite a heavy duty day about 2 days ago. Graham wasn't feeling very well, got him back on the boat. I had to clean the house for guests who apparently are participants in this shit where this guy's going uno dos tres. And then after that I had to go shopping to do different shops and bring a ton of stuff back to get on. I had to go to the Chinos to get stuff for the chairs and the boat, and I also had to do food shopping. And the food shopping, of course, we've got paper bags, haven't we? Paper bags. And when you've got things like frozen peas, the bags melt. And the reason the bags melt is because they're made of paper. But it always used to be, save the rainforest, as my son says. Save the rainforest, don't use paper. But as he says now, well, they use paper all the time. Fuck the rainforests. Used to be don't use plastic, you know, use the plastic, save the rainforest. Now it's save the sea, save the animals in the sea because of the plastic. Well, I can tell you, after 13 years of working at Dolphin Safari, yes, there is plastic in the sea, and yes, we do see it. We see it all the time. But the animals, they don't give a shit about the plastic. All this nonsense about dolphins eat plastic bags, sea turtles eat I've never seen a sea turtle eat plastic bag. I've never seen a dolphin. Dolphins actually play football with a plastic bag. Quite often you'll get a plastic bag, carrier bag, in the sea, and they catch it on their nose and then they pass it to another dolphin. And I know this probably all sounds terrible, like I'm a total anti-environmentalist. But a lot of people who think they're saving the planet, they actually are talking a lot of shit, and they've never worked at sea and they haven't got a fucking clue. You can probably tell I'm quite irritable because this man just... Oh, I've got an idea which might shut him up. No, I can still hear him. Uno, dos, tres, bounce the ball. Yes, 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 you're a winner, even if you're not a winner. It's like, fuck off, man. Fucking hell, I've got insomnia. 2 days this has been going on. If we don't have enough with the border queue, we've now got Motormouth with the speaker in the marina, keeping us all awake all fucking night. And the Spanish can keep this up until maybe 6 in the morning sometimes. Anyway, yeah, the dolphins. Lots of people say to me, oh, they're so intelligent. Well, actually, all animals are. All animals. I would not say, after 13 years of working and watching, well, working with the dolphins, they don't know what's going on. They don't care. They're doing their dolphin thing and we're just watching them. I wouldn't say dolphins are actually any more or less intelligent than any other animal. For example, my cat, or the praying mantis that came into our garden the other day. There is a form of intelligence. I'll tell you what I have noticed with dolphins. They have smiling faces, which makes people think that perhaps they're a lot more friendly, but I wouldn't have said so. I see dolphins getting angry with each other. You know, you get a grumpy dolphin, they'll take a nip at another dolphin. Sometimes dolphins have comb marks on their fins or their heads, and that's actually teeth marks where another dolphin has gouged them. A lot of people talk lately about the orca. You know, we had people in our house, we had a school group in our house, and I said to the teacher, would you like to see the dolphins? And she said, no, we can't get insurance because they might get eaten by an orca. And I said, orca don't come here in the bay. She said, well, that's what the news says. That's what social media says. We couldn't get insurance. I thought, well, that's ridiculous. Orca come into the bay maybe once every 4 or 5 years. We're probably due for a visit right now. But on the whole, no, they're right out in the Strait of Gibraltar. People really don't understand the sea life, the sea animals, or more importantly, how these types of businesses work. And as I say, I was always really, really great. I will always be eternally grateful to Tim and Conchie for giving Graham a chance at a job, and then me, and then ultimately Faith, and then Ben. When Faith and Ben were little and Graham and I were working at the Dolphin Safari, Tim and Conchie was spectacular. Tim actually collected Ben from school on more than one occasion when I was busy at sea. He said, "Don't worry, I'll pick him up." And other times I came back off the boat and Conchie had Faith, little Faith and Ben on her lap, and she was reading them a story. I mean, that I'm going back, well, I'm going back 12, 13 years there. So we've been through a lot with Tim and Conchie. They're like family to us. But there's a high staff turnover because it's a seasonal business. You know, the business really runs from March until the end of November. And then they generally close because it's just not worth operating and employing and paying all the wages through November, December, January and February, when there are no tourists. There might be one or two, but it's not going to be enough to cover the costs. So they generally, I think we all agreed, because Graham and I have always been the sort of stable members of staff, and then the next, of course, people can't stay, so they go away, they move on, they're students, they do something else. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Uno, dos, tres. I really... God. The guy's relentless, isn't he? I mean, as compares go, he's... he must have a sore throat by now. He's been doing this for a solid 24 hours, actually. I think in all the years I've been in this marina, that's my first complaint. I just can't believe the noise and the racket. Uno, dos, tres! Uno, dos, tres! Just repeatedly. So where was I? Yes. Dolphins. Tim and Conchie. Tim and Conchie are like a couple of dolphins. They're kind of oblivious. They continue doing their thing. Dolphins don't sleep. Did you know that? They can't sleep, like you and me. They wouldn't be bothered by this guy. Dolphins can't sleep because they're air breathers, like we are. They drown. They can't just go lay on the seabed for a couple of hours, you know, and chill out. They'd actually drown. So what dolphins do, in my observation, is they catnap every 15 minutes or so. It's strange, isn't it, having creatures that breathe air, that live in the sea. They are very, very alert and very aware of their surroundings. They have a sonar. They know where every boat is, they know the speed of the boat, and they most likely know how many life forms are on the boat. And I say life forms, like if there's 10 people and a dog, the dolphins will detect the heartbeats, you know, like a scan. So they will know there are life forms and the size of the life forms. And you'd be surprised at what distance. And how do I know all these unverifiable things? Well, I don't know for sure. And this is the thing. You get people who state facts about dolphins who haven't got a bloody clue what they're talking about. In fact, a competitive company had a girl who claimed to be a marine biologist. I mean, if she's a marine biologist, so is my cat, and so am I, and so is Graham, and so is the cushion I'm sitting on. She used to come out with all sorts of shit. She used to tell people dolphins lay eggs, for God's sake. They're mammals. They give birth. They're like us. Gestation period, of course, is a lot longer, about 12 months. You can't tag a dolphin. You can't put a... Well, not that I know of. You can't put a thing on their dorsal because it would require power. How would it get power source? It would happen. It may be sewn solar panel. But the Dolphin, although it lives predominantly on the surface, is not on the surface sufficiently to charge it. And also I think it would be very uncomfortable for the animal. I'm not sure I'm aware of any tagging of dolphins. I do know that when it comes to dolphins, that the passengers, they have always been my major focus at Dolphin Safari. We get people who come apply for jobs or come to work and they say, oh, I'll do anything I can, I love dolphins. And the thing is that the whole business is very little to do with the dolphins. The dolphins are there, they're wild animals, and we go and observe them in their natural habitat. They don't work for Dolphin Safari. They don't get commission, you know, they're not cooperating in any way, shape or form. What we're doing is really largely dealing with human beings. I suppose that's another aspect of my interest in Meghan Markle and, you know, her PR and how disastrous it is that she just doesn't seem to understand what irritates human beings, what makes human beings tick. But for me at Dolphin Safari, because when I started about 6 months after Graham, and then I got my STCW 95s and began crew, and I did the ticket sales on the quayside, and I did the crew, and I did the office marketing and stuff. I mean, I was really a linchpin. I was a heavily Dolphin Safari. And my major thing were the customers, you know, the queue to get into Gibraltar, because a lot of our customers had queued to get in, to let them know you must have a passport. You will not be allowed to enter without a passport. Please be aware there's a queue, park outside. Well, you could read our TripAdvisor reviews at Dolphin Safari, and you'll see my name comes up a lot. I've answered most of them. And making sure if they're a little bit late, can we delay the boat so they don't miss out, or can we put them on the next boat? And it's really juggling people's feelings and having a lot of consideration, manners, and worrying about people that really we've never met before in our life. That's the large extent of the job at Dolphin Safari. A lot of you are probably not really into Dolphin Safari. I couldn't give a crap, but I could tell you some serious stories about things I've seen at sea, experiences I've had on trips. We've had some horrendous trips. Graham and I had a trip where we were in the bay. It was the March and April, which are the 2 months that are really difficult to find dolphins. And if anybody could find them, it was me and Graham, really. And Tim. Tim is the best. Tim trained us. People say, how do you find the dolphins? Well, there's no easy answer to that. It depends on the weather, the season, the sea condition, the members of crew that you've got on board. And there are strategies, and we're trained by Tim to work very much as a team. But there was a particular trip Graham and I did, I think it was a couple of years ago actually, and we were in the bay, and the boat that we have at the Dolphin Safari, Goldfin, she's incredibly stable. There's a thing called the katabatic wind when we're right under the rock, and it's an easterly, and there was a particularly strong katabatic, and the boat was leaning dangerously, like capsize, dangerous. And I said to Graham, well, turn it, use the, it's twin engine, you know, use the port. And he said, I've got port full on, I've got the steering, she's not reacting. And the waves were really, we have a wave limit. And when we set sail on that particular trip, we were well within our wave limit. But of course, the weather can pick up. And it picked up. And we were both really concerned. But the people, there were hundreds of dolphins all around us in these mountainous waves, right under the rock. And they were loving it. And our job with the speaker and the crew member is, this is totally normal. Look at the dolphins. And you do, to make them oblivious. More oblivious than they actually are. We were both, that was an extreme trip actually. That never happened before and never happened since. But I've had lots and lots of experiences in the bay with Tim, with Carl, previous captain, with Graham, with lots of our captains, lots and lots of strange things. Worse things happen at sea, as they say, and trust me, they do, because when you are at sea, you're at the mercy. It's really, really, you are at the mercy of the elements. There's nothing you can do. And I think if anybody had to say to me what was the absolute worst dolphin trip I ever did, I think I'd be hard pushed. I've got a few stories. And let me know in the comments if you would be interested in knowing those stories. I'm only up telling you this right now because this guy's driving me fucking crazy. I mean, he's just... I really hope the microphone on this is picking it up. La 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 la. I think I'm going to have a cup of tea. I'll show you my chairs again because I'm really impressed with myself, actually, with this guy. Yap, 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 yap. He has not stopped yapping since yesterday. It can't be that exciting, and it can't just be one guy. It's got to be like more than one person. I think I might put Alcadessa Marina in the tags on this, just so the marina know. I can't fucking stand this, and I can't be the only one. There must be other boat owners who are like, shut the fuck up! There you go, I said it. Those who freak out and faint. There'll be a ton of people, Meghan Markle fat sugars going, oh, she said the F word. Oh my God, I can't take it. So, let me show you my chairs again. Look at my kettle. Oh yeah, look at my kettle. I just want to show you this because I don't know what the hell happened here. Here's my kettle. I've turned it on, but it's not on. What I have to do... Oh! Hang on. Come on, kettle. I have to twist it until the blue light comes on. And then it'll boil. Oh, God's sake. Oh! No, yeah. And I have to do this every time. Oh, there we go. Every time I want a cup of tea. Apparently Ben and his previous girlfriend India dropped it, and it's on my to-do list to get a new kettle, but I have to do that every time I want a cup of tea. Fuck's sake. Oh God, there I go again, blaspheming and swearing. Right, so I'll show you my chairs again, because I'm so proud of these. I mean, look at this, look at this, look at this mastery. It took me about an hour and a half per cushion. Per cushion. Let's go down and see the... Oh, look at this! My cushions, finally! Oh! And this one. So I'm very, very, very proud of them. But I'm nowhere near as proud of them as I am that I'd like that man to shut the fuck up. Just... Oh my God, I can actually hear him going, Uno, dos, tres! Again. Anyway, thank you for indulging me about my life. As always.